Hey, this Ben was doing the lake. This is a little different. This is one, I've got 3 or 4 videos set up, but just a quick video, not really complicated. Grandson number 4 watches Monkey Mechanic on Super Simple, and Mr. Monkey has his trusty monkey wrench. So here's a quick deal for those of you that are out there carving, to show that it doesn't take a lot of talent. This is pretty amateurish, and I'll show you how I knocked this out. And this was done in about probably about 30 minutes, and it had a little bit of help with the painting. So as always, I start with some kind of a concept drawing, and I took that right off of the YouTube channel, and then I drew it out on a really nice piece of pine that I use when I do signs. And so I'm drawing out the pattern of the monkey wrench. I know what a monkey wrench looks like, but this was supposed to be a monkey wrench that matched what he sees on this Super Simple deal that he does. And this is kind of interesting as you go along. I wanted it freehand. I didn't want to. I put a piece of angle iron up in the corner, a long one, thinking I might use that as a straight line, and I didn't. Like I said, now watch this. I'm looking at this and I think, holy smokes, that's not the way. Look at where the handle was on that. So the handle is in the C part of it, and look what I did. Straight forward. And I'm starting to draw the jaw in there, and I'm like, oh man, that's not right. So I thought that was kind of interesting as I'm going in. So the handle would have went over here in the C part of it. The concept is not to put a whole lot of detail on this, and because it's going to get chewed on, it's going to get thrown at stuff. So X out the handle there below. That's no good. That's no good. We don't want that when we cut it out. So there you go. Over to the bandsaw, and a really nice piece of wood, because like I said, that's a piece that I use for some sign carving. What's left over. And I hesitated to abuse this piece, abuse it with this. So you're following along. Never hurts, even on a silly project that has no value whatsoever other than to a grandkid. Center lines. So this is a little thick for a 2.5-year-old's hand, and I'll take care of that in post haste. And I'm going to leave some stuff in here to show you how I got this thing knocked out in about a half an hour. So I'm trying to get the basic details on both sides so it's symmetrical. Center lines, as always. And I left all of this in there. Don't do this. Don't use a DeWalt like this. I like it because as you know, it gets me down to the shape pretty quick and saves me a lot of whittling on this to get it down to shape. If you decide to try this, I would suggest that first of all you have some confidence and have used a right angle grinder for various different things, metalwork and whatnot. And you'll notice I always have this supported up against a stump, and I'm taking such light cuts. It's probably about a 36 grit on here, and you kind of see what's going on there. I've got it against that, and I'm taking such small passes on this. I'm really not trying to get the money out of this. Now if I'd ever throw this in the vise over there, and as soon as it gets a little bit warmer and I'm not sitting near the stove down here, I'll probably show you a little bit of that. I've got a rocking horse that the kid has destroyed, and I haven't decided what I'm going to replace that with, but that's going to be like a small carousel animal, and I'll cut that. I'm going to use some plywood and then basswood and glue it up. So that's a project that's coming a little bit later. I'm getting ready to go back down to Iowa for my week down there. I've got 3 or 4 videos that just need the editing finished up on them. One is if you wait till the end of this, I can give you a little bit of a surprise in that I have another master class bird carving video, and this one is a black-capped chickadee baby bird. So a black-capped chickadee baby bird, and if you stick around at the end of this, it's about 12 minutes, 11 or 12 minutes. I'll give you, well, not a preview, because, well, I guess it is a preview, but you'll get to see the finished one, and I like the way he turned out. He turned out really well, and he is painted, which you don't normally get to see me do. And I got to admit, he looks so much better in person than he does. The filming doesn't do justice, and I didn't spend a whole lot of time trying to get mood lighting on the filming. I just wanted to show you what the end project looks like. But that's getting edited, and that'll be in there. And right now I'm taking this guy down so it's not quite so thick, and here I'm going to round over a lot of the edges. And you can go to any depth on these you want, but this is a kid's project. If you go back, there's some kids' swords in there. There's a Thor's hammer. A lot of times I just get a wild hair and decide that grandkid needs something. We've done several shields that you didn't get. I filmed a couple of those, I think. But of the 4 boys, the grandkids, all 4 boys, they'll ask, hey, let's make a shield or a sword or something, and then it gets taken out and abuse one of our 300-year-old trees along on the lakefront here. But it's good fun and doesn't require any talent whatsoever, because a young kid doesn't know. All they know is that it's very similar to something that they see on TV. So there it is, the roughed out shape. You can see I put little notches up in the top there, and poof. So it's time to go to power carving on this. I got a power carving video that I put together, and I called Pat over at PJL Enterprises over in Minnesota, and I got some bad news for you. He's not making these hand pieces anymore. He is still doing the burner, but I'll talk about that in a video. It's kind of sad, but I spent a couple hours on the phone with him here a week ago while I was down in Iowa, and because I was putting this video together, and what he told me was just wreck the complete video that I'd spent several hours editing and putting in there. But I'm going to put that video up anyway, and give you some. I'm going to put some more stuff in there. So those of you that have been asking about my power carver and where to get one, he's not making them anymore, and the dealers are out of stock on them. But I did learn a lot, and I will share that in a video with you. So I'm just rounding this thing over really quickly. There's a portion in here that I figure you didn't need to see. I did grab an orbital sander after I was done quickly running this thing over and smoothed everything up. So this wood was not prone to splinters and that sort of thing, which is the last thing you want in a kid, to grab it and get splinters in their hand, or anybody basically. But I did not spend a whole lot of time, because the thing, Mr. Monkey Mechanic is a cartoon. It's a learning cartoon for toddlers primarily, and he watches the heck out of it. So, and this is Mr. Monkey's Trusty Monkey Wrench. So some of you are probably have seen Super Simple. If not, if you type in on YouTube Super Simple Monkey Mechanic, it'll take you about 2 minutes of your time, and this thing will suddenly make sense to you. So all this wood carving or power carving, however you want to delineate it, you don't have to necessarily build a masterpiece each time. Sometimes it's just fun to do something crazy, and you need inspiration for that. And if you've got any dwarfs running around, they're pretty good inspiration. They appreciate it in a lot of cases, although I have made some dwarf projects that are total fails. They look at it, give it kind of a, meh, that's interesting, Grandpa. Okay, well, we'll just, and then it ends up collecting dust with other toys in the corner. But you gotta try. So this was all speeded up 2 times. I did do a phoenix feather, and I will edit that out So there's the rough shaping just before I got down to the part where I take it and use the orbital sander. I didn't figure you needed to see that. Is in the mid 30s here today, and the studio, just with one stoke of firewood, ended up 98 degrees. And I got to tell you, that's way too. So I took this in the house, handed it to Grandma, and said, "Hey, you interested in painting this?" And she said, "Sure, why not? Two colors, how hard could that be?" So yeah, here's Grandma's painting, and then here's after I took it back out and shot it with acrylic clear. And then I'll take a little steel wool and rub this up, and this thing will be done. So this is Mr. Monkey's Trusty Monkey Wrench from Super Simple. And here's your bonus right here. This is in the editing. This is I'm going to call this a master class because of the way he turned out. And he did not film as well as it looks in person. But this guy's a tutorial, and he's in beginning the editing. But this is little black cap chickadee sitting on a deal. So like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. It's been Ben with Studio on the Lake.